Sports show in Jacksonville. This is the Action Sports Jax postgame show, sponsored by Anichar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Oh, say it loud and proud. Jags, 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 Jags. Another streak busted. That's right. No more, Houston. Your 9-game winning streak is over for the first time since 2017. The Jacksonville Jaguars are victorious against the Texans, and they sent a little message to Houston with a little 31-3 kicking. Hi, everybody. Hicken here. It's the post-game show, and we join you now live as the Jaguars get the victory, 31-3, and they really weren't that good on offense. I mean, I was thinking about it, man. What do we have? One good play today? Really, one excellent play, one explosive play, and that was a Travis Etienne 62-yard run. But the Jags now have suddenly won 4 straight football games. And who would have thunk it? Hello, 500 for the first time since this late in the season, since 2017, right? The Jacksonville Jaguars are at 500, 8-8. The Tennessee Titans are at 7-9. All that we've been telling you has now come to fruition 1 week from today. Right now, we'll be live at the bank with the victorious playoff-bound Jacksonville Jaguars as South Division champs as they beat the Titans, we hope. And we think. And, you know, listen, the Jags defense has played well. Now, the Jags defense has played well the last 2 weeks because they've played against Zach Wilson and some guy named Shreveport and Davis Mills and Jeff Driscoll. Well, that continues next Sunday, right? It's going to be Joshua Dobbs or Malik Willis. So really what it's going to come down to is a well-rested Derrick Henry is going to get the ball 40 times next Sunday. And he's going to try to carry the Titans past the Jaguars. That's what it's going to come down to. Can the Jaguars stop Derrick Henry? And if they can, they're going to win. But back to today's game, it was total domination, man. It was Jags went and scored early, made it 7-0. They had a couple drives where they didn't get anything. Then they scored again. It was 14-0 on the ETN run. And then the defense, they scored 2 quick touchdowns. The defense got a score today as Davis Mills just fumbled the football, and Tyson Campbell picked it up and rode the Stallion in for the score. Houston's offense is awful. They will have the first-round pick. They will draft Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud, and next year it will be a little bit different, although they'll hopefully be going through at least their growing pains, and we don't know how good they're going to be. But just look at the statistics. I mean, it was really I mean, at the half, Houston had 4 first downs. The rest of them were junk. They didn't matter. Doug Peterson pulled Trevor Lawrence. He pulled Etienne early in the second half. C.J. Beathard, Jermichael Hasty, Snoop Connor got to play most of the second half. And the Jags did what they had to do. And they went out there and they pasted Houston. And it was 31-3. Look, Etienne had 108 yards, had 32 more through the air. Hasty had a touchdown. Marvin Jones, the leading receiver. Zay Jones, 3 for 24. Nothing special statistically, except for that Kirk is now at 1,000 yards. Etienne's over 1,000 yards, but Trevor's not at 4,000. Trevor had his worst game since, let me look at the schedule here. Jets, Cowboys, Titans, Lions, Ravens, maybe the Chiefs back then. I mean, not a good performance at all, I didn't think, from Trevor Lawrence. He was real high in the beginning with his passes. He was sailing them again, which he does sometimes. Percentage-wise, he was fine. I mean, his percentage is going to be through the roof. I think he was, do we have the numbers, Liv? Trevor, for what? I mean, are you listening? Are you paying attention to the post-game show, or are you watching football in there? Huh? I mean, a little help here. 17-21, so the percentage is great, right? I mean, you can do the math on that. That's probably close to, that's 80%, isn't it? Almost 152 yards. Not a lot of downfield stuff. Did throw the 1 interception, so his rating won't be very good. Davis Mills is terrible. I don't know how that – I'm going to tell you how bad the Jags were. Davis Mills beat us 3 times in a row, I think, if I'm not mistaken. That's how bad the Jags have been. But not anymore, okay? Not anymore. No more of that. So Trevor gets the job done today. And listen, I'd rather him be mediocre today than mediocre next Sunday. Next Sunday, it's all systems go. Packed bank, raucous atmosphere, playoff-like game. It is a playoff game. Winner gets the AFC South Championship. So win and you're in next Sunday. We think Sunday night maybe. We won't know that, I believe, until tomorrow late when Buffalo and Cincinnati play. I believe that's when we find out when they will slot the Jags. But everybody seems to think it's going to be a Sunday nighter in prime time. It could be Saturday, but we were talking to Brent earlier today from Houston, and he said the Jags have made it known they really don't want Saturday because Tennessee got a Thursday game. So that would be, one less day rest for the Jaguars, which, makes sense. I could understand them just saying, hey, listen, if you're going to flex us at least Sunday night, And so hopefully that will be the case. Whatever. Jags are going to be in one of the three, though. I can almost guarantee you Jags are going to play Tennessee for an AFC South. You got to put them in one of the three games because that's going to be one of those playoff-like games. So just happy, 4 wins in a row, man, for the Jacksonville Jaguars. 4 wins in a row. Think back to the 5 losses in a row. Oh, man, if we just beaten the Giants and the Broncos and the Texans the first time, what a year we'd have. But it's okay. If we get the 4 seed, all is well, man. And then we'll see who we play. Will we play Baltimore? Will we play Cincinnati? But we have to take care of business first. Have to focus on Tennessee. They've done it to us one too many times down here. And so we need to – there's one more streak that Doug Peterson needs to snap. And he snapped so many of them this year. He's done such a good job. He should get votes for Coach of the Year, by the way. But the one last streak is if we beat Tennessee next Sunday, we'll have swept them for the first time, I believe, since 2005. So there you see the South standings. 8-8 is so pretty. It's so pretty. 7-9. And you know what? It's important for our franchise. Doug Peterson did the right thing today. 100% the right thing. And I'm not saying Mike Vrabel probably did the right thing for his team on Thursday night. They're no good, but they are losing and losing and losing. Colts are finito. The Texans are awful. So the Jags, 9-8 as a playoff team is a lot better than 8-9. And so that's why I think, as far as building the culture and establishing winning around here, it'd be nice to be an AFC South champ with a winning record. So that's what the Jags have right in front of them. If they can win 5 straight games to close out the season. And who would have thought it, man? Not many people, and man, think about how close it is. With all those close games against the Ravens and the Raiders and the Cowboys. But to win those games has kept this team in contention, and now we're staring at a home playoff game. If we win next Sunday, we will be home for the wild card weekend. So how fun would that be? I know that as a season ticket holder, and well, actually everybody, they opened up tickets this week. So a lot of you have already purchased them if the Jags get in and win next Sunday. But if you're, listen, come next Sunday, man. Pack the bank. Should be a great atmosphere. Should be a great crowd. I don't think there'll be a lot of Titans fans here this time. No. No, I don't think they're coming now. I think they know what's coming, okay? And the Jags are a confident bunch. Again, I don't really think they played that great today, And they scored 31 points. Now, the defense had a touchdown, which was nice. We haven't seen that in a while. It's always good to have those, right? But I don't know. Like I said, I think I'm trying to think about explosive plays, and I think they only had one, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe a couple more, but the ETN run was a backbreaker, really. That's all we needed. Actually, all we needed was the first touchdown because it was a 31-3 final score. So the Jags get it done. They get the victory. They improve to 8-8. They beat the Houston Texans for the first time since 2017. They are a game clear of the Tennessee Titans. It sets up for next Sunday. It's a battle for the number 4 seed. Win and you're in. Now, a lot of other things. The Jags, because they win today, if a couple things happen today, then they can still be in the wild card hunt for next Sunday, even if they lose to the Titans. So we'll keep our eyes out on that. One of them is the 4 o'clock game, Seattle and the Jets. I believe the Jets have to lose that game for the Jags to have an opportunity to secure a wild card spot. So we're going to wait for a few minutes. We're going to get some post-game from Brent. He's over there in Houston at NRG Stadium. Liv referred to it as the House of Horrors earlier. We're not sure why. There's no House of Horrors over there. That's in Tennessee, and we erased that too, Liv. There's no new House of Horrors. No, there's no House of Horrors anymore for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Not in the AFC South, man. I mean, we got to go win in Indy, maybe. Maybe that's the last place we need to go take care of business there. That team is limping in. Oh, my goodness gracious. So they'll be drafting a quarterback, too. Put up some scores. Let's see. The Giants have made the playoffs now. They hammered the Colts. So there's Doug Peterson podium. We're waiting for him. But the Giants beat the Colts 38-10. So the Giants are in the postseason. So another great coaching performance by Brian Daboll as the Giants will now go to the postseason. And the Commanders are out, and the Lions, with their victory, move into the final slot, not clinched. But the Detroit Lions, much like the Jaguars, and a team that beat the Jaguars earlier, and a team that played great football in the second half, is a team that is moving towards going into the postseason. Brent's at NRG Stadium. Let's hear from him right now as the Jags are victorious today.
The mantra as the Jaguars players just ran off this field here in Houston and back to the locker room was one more. And that will take place next week against the Tennessee Titans in Jacksonville. Of course, still waiting on when that game will be, Saturday or Sunday. But first things first, how about the Jacksonville Jaguars have climbed all the way back to 500, 8-8 through 16 games for just the third time in franchise history. And this one feels different. In 2006, they were 8-5, lost their final three. In 2010, they were 8-5, lost their final three to miss out on the postseason. Well, this time around, they've won 4 in a row to get back to 8-8, and now in a 17-game season, the last one really matters. It will be for the division, the AFC South, the playoffs, and a home playoff game against the Titans. So therefore, the mantra was one more, and it wasn't a super hyped up group of players going back to the locker room. They're all business right now. They know what's ahead, and they took care of business here in Houston to snap another one of those skids. A 9-game losing streak against the Texans. That is over. The Jags were dominant on defense. Houston's offense is not very good. The Jags did enough on offense. The Jags offense was a little clunky at times, if we're being honest. Trevor Lawrence, he was 17 of 21, but it didn't feel like he played that great. Travis Etienne almost lost another fumble, but he also had a couple of big runs in the football game. So the Jags get it done. They are 8-8. They have made it to week 18 of the regular season with everything on the line. Doug Peterson, what a turnaround in Jacksonville in 2022. And what a week it's going to be back in the River City with the electricity around this football team and what that game means next weekend. We're heading to the locker room, get some reaction, and I got a feeling all the talk will be about the Titans. For now, always on the road with the Jacksonville Jaguars, this time in Houston, Texas. I'm Brent Martineau, Action Sports Jax.
It really is, as we look at some other NFL scores that I'll get to in a second. It really is one of those weird games today, right? I mean, almost as soon as Jacksonville took control of the game, everybody, okay, this one's in the books. Houston's so bad. There's no atmosphere there. There's no crowd. It was just kind of like take care of business, Jacksonville, which they did. And again, so now they're in contention, or now they'll play for a playoff spot next week for the AFC South Championship. But let's look at some other scores and bring up today. The Eagles are suddenly teetering, right? Jalen Hurts is out. They got to get him healthy. I think they could still lose the number one seed here because they now have, I think, 3 losses. And Minshew threw a pick 6 today, and the Saints beat them, so that's a big win for the Saints. The Chiefs own the AFC West. They've beaten the Broncos like 13-14, and it was a game Denver team, right? They played hard, they played tough, they played valiantly, and they lost. All right, so the Chiefs beat the Broncos. Here's Doug Peterson. Let's listen in.
It's something that we're still trying to continue to learn and grow from. And, obviously it was a unique situation, right, in a game that, yeah, sure, it may not have meant a whole lot, but I don't know if I've been in a situation where you'd had a game like this heading into a game that for everything, But I tell you, it's a credit to the guys in the locker room, the coaches, just to stay focused. That was our sort of our, what am I thinking of here? It was our, our mantra for the week was to stay locked in and stay focused and ready to go. And, the guys, that's what I told them after the locker room, the way they handled this week. Very proud of them for that. And that's all part of our winning culture, and there's a time and a place, obviously, to rest guys. I just didn't think this was the time or the place to do that.
As a follow-up, obviously one of the biggest regular season games in history coming up here on Sunday.
How do you view it, and do you feel like the guys will handle the pressure that's going to come with this?
This is what you play for. This is what you coach for. This is what you want. For your football team, you want to be in the conversation, and you want to be playing for, for us, the AFC South, and we're playing a good football team. And listen, we haven't done anything yet. They're still the champs until something happens. But I felt like and really feel like our guys are again in a good place. They're a good place mentally, physically, and I don't really have to worry too much about them getting excited for this one. It's more about just locking in on your job and focusing in on your task. This week, starting tomorrow.
Does it matter when you play? Do you have strong feelings about like Saturday where you'd have shorter rest versus?
Yeah, I would love to play Sunday. Obviously, to have these next couple of days. But look, we'll play. We'll play when they ask us or tell us to play, and our guys will be ready to go. But if I could pick, I'd pick Sunday.
How did Etienne play today, and what did you see on his big 62-yard touchdown run?
On that run, I saw great blocking, not only by the line but by Christian and Zay, I believe, and they did an outstanding job today in the run game, and obviously gave him the ability to spring free and get in the end zone. But that's what Travis can do. We can get him in space and on the perimeter or between the tackles some. He's capable of doing that, and that was good to see. It's been a while since we've got him going like that.
How big was the first series, getting ahead in this game, not having pressure on the scoreboard?
It's big. Defense did a great job. Turnover on downs, and then the offense responding. We went a little tempo there to start the game, and did a nice job getting in the end zone. That's exactly how we wanted to start the football game, and it does. In any game is great when you can obviously get the lead early, and then our guys did a nice job keeping it and doing some good things.
Turnovers help every defense. Obviously, seems like there's a really marked difference between this group when they don't get one and then when they are able to get one.
Those are proven stats, right? Takeaways and giveaways, things like that. And anytime you can be in the plus category, your chances of winning go up. It just means more possessions for your offense. And defensively did a nice job. Of course, we turned the ball over too, so that's we got to look at that. And Trevor and CJ both had picks today, and we just got to take a look at that. But the defense, when you can score on defense too, like they did, just helps the cause. And I thought the defense did an outstanding job today. Really just holding them to the 3 points, but played well.
Can you describe the season that Christian Kirk has had? He went over 1,000 yards today, and just describe what he's meant to you guys.
He's meant a lot. He's a veteran player who, obviously, you guys know we targeted in free agency, and he's been nothing but a professional here in Jacksonville, and he works extremely hard every single day out there, and there's a reason why he, has the numbers that he does, and it's because of his work ethic. And he's been great for the room, been great for our team, and I'm happy for him and obviously his family for this milestone.
It seemed like today the medical tent never went up at all. Have you ever been involved in a game? It didn't seem like maybe we missed something, but was there any even remote injury today that got your attention?
No, not really. We had a couple of bumps and bruises in the game. We were fortunate, and then in the third quarter we were able to pull some guys and get them out of the football game. And again, it's just a credit to the players. But no, I don't think I've ever been in a game where that tent, knock on wood, we don't want it to go up much, but when it doesn't go up, that's a good thing.
How do you think Trevor played? Maybe a couple missed throws, but overall it seemed
overall he did some good things. Led the football team. Obviously the one pick, him and Zay kind of missed on that, and it's something we'll take a look at and fix. But I thought he did some good things. He was high with some throws early, but settled in. I thought the run game was good, but overall, and again, listen, it's a tough week. I understand it, from the standpoint of being mentally prepared and everything, just the way the nature of the game is. But I thought he really handled himself well and led the team well.
How much does it help you, game planning, execution-wise, when you have a guy like Evan Ingram, the tight end, that really is a massive factor in the pass game?
I mean, it's good. I mean, it's good for your offense, and just another weapon that you can scheme for. And he's been. I think he set a record himself. I think today, for tight ends, and just just been a blessing to our team and a great leader. He's another one. He's a hard worker. I mean, the guys, those guys, Evan, Christian. Those guys are what you want and how you can build a team but having a guy like Evan really gives you some flexibility on offense with your game planning.
You guys have snapped so many streaks this season. How rewarding is it?
I can't keep count of them.
Yeah, snap another one where the Texans had won 9 straight.
That, I think back-to-back road games and all kinds of stuff. It's crazy.
Nashville, yeah.
Just check them off.
Right.
I mean, it's great for the organization. It's great for the team. Obviously you set out each season, and hopefully you win more than you lose. But it's just a credit to the staff. It's a credit to the players. Even Mr. Khan, giving me the opportunity to coach his team and just the direction that we're headed. Obviously we still have a game left, but yeah, we've conquered a few firsts in a while, and it's a credit to those guys.
How excited are you to see the home environment, whether it's Saturday or Sunday, and see the support you're going to get from the fans?
Yeah, it should be electric. It should be. I mean, we're playing for the AFC South, we need all our fans that can get there, and it's going to be a great atmosphere, and our guys will feed off of that energy, and it'll be fun. It'll be fun when to coach and play in. All right, thanks, guys.
Well, there you have it. That's Doug Peterson. This is what you play for. This is why you coach. That's what he was talking about today as the Jags beat the Texans. And you'll take note that the questions quickly became about Tennessee. Business is done with Houston. We move on. And Doug Peterson talked about, what he hopes will happen next Sunday or Saturday or whenever it is. He would like to play on Sunday just because of the extra day of rest that his team needs. But they were able to get some guys out. They were relatively injury-free today. So, listen, full steam ahead. And another, you talk about a guy who pushes all the right buttons, and this is Doug Peterson. There was some talk, well, maybe you should rest players, blah, blah, blah. No, we're full steam ahead. We're going for it. We're going to play pedal to the metal, changing the culture. And it worked perfectly. Nobody got injured. They won their football game. They dominated. They keep building momentum, and they go on to the next one, and the next one's a bigger one. And now each one, they knew they had to win these games, right? I mean, back when they were, they're 8-8. So can we put the schedule back up, or we already had it, right? We can't put it back up. But anyway, if you think back to their schedule, and they knew they had to win each game going forward, and that's what they've been able to do. 4 in a row, they've been able to check off. And if they can check off one more, that'll be 5 in a row. Josh Allen talking to Brent just a moment ago.
Man, it was lit. We were literally just talking about who gonna score on defense right before we went out there. You know what I'm saying? So we really had to just keep that going.
Josh, how much better are you guys playing collectively on defense these last few weeks?
Say that again?
How much better are you playing just collectively? I mean, obviously the stats say you've only given up a field goal each of the last 2 games.
We just got to keep doing. We got to keep continuing to grow. This is the urgency is still up high for this team, man. We were excited to play this game. It was a get-back game for these guys, and next week is an even bigger game for us. And we just got to keep that sense of urgency. Got to come back to work tomorrow, ready to go.
What's this mean to have everything on the line coming up this week?
Every game for the last 5 games, everything's been on the line. So we got to continue to go. We got to continue to execute and go.
Does it matter what day you play on? Do you want to play in prime time?
I want to play a game because either way it goes, man, the camera's still going to be in us, and we got to still perform the way we need to do.
All right, Josh Allen meeting with the media and with Brent, obviously, and talking about next week, of course, and this week. And listen, again, give the defense credit. Give them a lot of credit. Don't want to take anything away, but also note who they're playing. My point is the quarterbacks that they've been playing. Zach Wilson was horrible. Davis Mills might have been worse. Jeff Driscoll. And the good news is next week it's Malik Willis and Josh Dobbs or whoever. Then if you get to the postseason, things change. It could be Lamar Jackson. It could be Joe Burrow. You know, hard to say who's it going to be. So it all changes going forward. Christian Kirk, over 1,000 yards receiving this year. Been an excellent, as you heard Doug Peterson say, an excellent addition to this football team. Talking with Brent just a couple moments ago.
I guess you kept it rolling. I mean, and that was kind of the idea coming in here. I mean, there's so much to look forward to potentially or get distracted from. Holidays, not playing for a while. You got to be pretty proud that you guys were able to keep it going.
Yeah, you know, we brought our own intensity, brought our own energy, and, you know, like you mentioned, could be tough, you know, with everybody telling you this one doesn't matter, and there's a lot of other distractions, you know, outside of the building, but, you know, we were able to, you know, keep it laser focused, and, you know, every single game matters for us and what we're trying to do here, and, you know, building our attitude and our culture, you know, within this locker room, and so it was big to, you know, come out and have a win like this.
How big for you to get to 1,000?
You know, it's big. You know, obviously, individual goals are things that, you know, come along with, you know, team success. You know, but for me, it's big. You know, I've had a lot of ups and downs, you know, for myself, you know, in my career, and to, you know, finally hit that milestone, you know, it definitely feels good.
I feel like I'm bringing this up to you every week, but I just can't get over the conversation we had in Kansas City when you said, we believe, we got 7 to go, and here you are, 8-8, with everything on the line. I mean, it's probably what you hoped when we talked back in Kansas City before the bye.
No doubt. You know, you look at it, we were 3-7 at the time, and so the fact that we've been able to string together some wins and, you know, play some good football, you know, going into the most important part of the year is, you know, something that we've talked about, playing meaningful games in December, January, and hopefully so on. So, you know, for us, just taking it 1 week at a time. You know, nobody has to change anything that they've done, you know, just be the same. Nobody has to make a heroic effort, you know, just go out and play, you know, our brand of football.
Do you think you guys, this locker room, will be able to just take that approach, even though the stakes are really high this week?
I think so. We have, you know, a lot of leadership in this locker room, a lot of knowledge, veterans that have been in the league, played in, you know, playoff type games and playoff type atmospheres, and so, you know, it's not as difficult when you have that, you know, guys that can just keep the same attitude, and you know, the younger guys can see that this is no different than, you know, any other the 16 games we've already played this year.
What's it going to be like to see that stadium? Because I mean, heck, it might be sold out.
Yeah.
And it probably won't be a lot of Giants fans or Cowboys fans. It's going to be all Jags fans.
Yeah, you know, it'll be great. Just happy to give the opportunity to, you know, the city and, you know, have everybody come out, you know, all the Jags fans, you know, just being able to come out, you know, support us, and, you know, we know it's going to be rocking, so we can't wait to play in front of everybody.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Congrats on 1,000.
Jags are undefeated in 2023, 1-0. How sweet it is. And I will say this, I think that this late rally by this football team and playing meaningful football in December, playing meaningful football in January, hopefully getting to the postseason will expedite things in terms of expectation, not for the fan base but for the players and the organization, right? I mean, if the Jags had closed out this season just okay, like let's say they won 2 and lost 2 and they were 6-11 or 7-10 and didn't go to the playoffs, then next year, if they were in this position, we'd all be excited. So here we are in this position this year, in Trevor's second year, and now he's got a chance to go get his first taste of, you know, he gets his first taste of having to do this, his first taste of having to win a game to get into the playoffs, hopefully his first taste of the postseason. You say he's at the podium? All right, here's Trevor Lawrence early. Let's listen.
Yeah, it was a big win for us. Obviously, you know, with a lot of the distractions kind of around this week and knowing what's in store now for this next week, you know, I thought we handled our business today, and that was the plan, to come in here, start fast, and control the game, and I thought we did that. You know, offensively, a lot of stuff to clean up. Didn't play our cleanest ball today, but, you know, the defense played great, and special teams was awesome, so kind of made up for it. Then we had some huge plays on offense, so did enough to win. Obviously, it's not our cleanest game we've had, but at this point in the year, it's just about winning. And so, I mean, obviously, we're happy with that. And to be able to win that way, you know, it shows the growth of this team. When you don't necessarily play your best, especially offensively, you can still dominate a game like that. So it's cool to see our team continue to come together. And we all know what's kind of at hand this week. So we're excited for the challenge and ready to get back to work for that.
Trevor, how much does it help you personally, having played in such huge games at Clemson, getting ready for a game like this that's for the AFC South title?
I mean, I think all guys have played in games like this, all the different guys on our team, different places, maybe here, years past, whatever it is. So the biggest thing is you can't treat it any different than any other game. You can't try to do more or less, or you just have to trust your process and what got us here, and I think we've gotten in a pretty good groove of just the way we prepare, the way we get ready for these games. You see it's been paying off for us the past month and a half. So we just got to trust that. You can't try to do a bunch of things new just because you're in a position where it's a must-win, to get in. For us, it's the same as any other game. That's kind of been our mindset the past 2 months. So for us, we just got to continue to do what we've been doing, prepare the same way, have a great week of prep, and put ourselves in position to win on Sunday or whenever the game's going to be.
Good to see on Etienne's touchdown run.
Just him running. No, I saw actually, Zay had a great block. They had a safety filled the lane, and Zay got just enough of him, got his shoulder, and kind of knocked him out of the hole. And I don't think Travis had to even cut. He broke that one tackle on the second level from the safety, and he was gone. So, we had that play up pretty good. And Zay and Christian specifically did a really good job on the perimeter, making that thing go.
So just treat it as the next game, but isn't there a little part of you that goes, holy cow, this is for it. This is our lives for this season. And how do you not let that creep in or become an issue?
You look at the situation we put ourselves in, that's kind of been, honestly, the feeling every week for us is just, because if we didn't win, what today was 4 in a row, if we didn't win these games, we wouldn't be in a position to do this next week. So for us, that pressure, or whatever you want to call it, it's been there, and, we've responded great to it. And now that this moment, we talked a lot about, a few weeks ago, this season's going to come down to week 18. We knew we had to take care of business these prior weeks, but we had a feeling we're going to put ourselves in position to where week 18 is going to decide our playoff berth and where we head after that. And so we've been expecting this, and we're ready for it. And I think, like I said, you can't treat it. It's a big game because you're right. It is for our season and to earn the right to keep playing. But it's still a game. It's still played the same way. Still the same length of time. All that stuff. It's the same game. So you can't freak out and make it bigger than it is. You got to stick to what you know and your process.
Someone already asked it, but we ask you every week about snapping another streak with this franchise this year. This was 9 in a row. The Texans. You got that going.
Feels good. There's a lot of guys in that locker room that have been a part of that. I've been a part of 3 of them, and it feels good to get this one. Obviously, just it's hard to win in this league, so you appreciate all of them, especially a division game where you haven't beat this team in a while. It feels really good, especially to do it at their place. It's awesome, but this one's going to be short-lived for us. We know we got a big week in front of us, but yeah, it was great to get the win today.
Knowing the kind of defense they are, scrappy, the way they play. How big was getting a touchdown at the first drive?
Their defense has played really, really great all year. Just really disciplined, well coached. They do what they do, and they do it well, and they're physical too. So we knew starting fast would be big for us. Something that we weren't able to do when we played them earlier in the season. So to be able to jump out of that lead earlier than our defense, just be able to pin their ears back and get after them really the whole game, I think put us in a good position. And then, like I talked about, though, before, just not playing our best on offense. We had a couple opportunities to add on to that even earlier, and we stalled out and had some miscommunication, some stuff like that early on that we need to clean up. But, other than that, and I thought that the first drive of the third quarter was really good for all of us, just to be clean, to go all the way down the field, to score there, and to finish kind of the right way. Obviously, a lot of the guys still played after that, but for me, I wanted to really have a clean drive. I didn't think we executed very clean in the first half for the majority of the time.
How much pride do you take in Christian getting 1,000 yards receiving?
It's awesome. You know, I told him kind of after the game or middle of the game when I realized, like, shoot, he just hit 1,000. Like, congrats, man. Like, just he's earned it. You know, he's worked super hard, and obviously that's a big part of our offense is 1,000 yards. It's a lot of production from him, and just to see him have success and just the amount of work he's put in and the work that we've put in together, and to see how it's paid off and just the connection, the chemistry that we have, it's been really cool, and just happy for him. So just keep building on it. Awesome. Thank you all. Yep.
All right, there you hear him. Trevor Lawrence, victory for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and looking ahead to next week. We're going to talk about that and much more tonight on Action Sports Jax Primetime. So good we do it twice, 10:30 on Fox 30, 11:30 on CBS 47. The Jacksonville Jaguars all the way back to 8-8. You know, an interesting point that he had talking about the pressure. The pressure's been there the last 4 weeks. Every week they know they got to win. If they win, they keep going. If they win, they keep going, and they did. And now here they are at 8-8, and they'll play for the AFC South next Sunday at the Bank. Can't wait. We'll see you there. Thanks for hanging out with us on the postgame show. We got more coming up tonight on Action Sports Jax Primetime. We'll hear from ETN and the rest of the fellas as well. Jags win 31-3. Take that, Houston. Take that, AFC South. Oh, 7 days. She's going to be rocking. See you later.
It's the best local sports show in Jacksonville. Thanks for watching the Action Sports Jax postgame show. Sponsored by Anachar and Levine, Accident Attorneys.